Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to be doing another update of Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. We have some pretty exciting news that I will go over at the end of today's update, but I think before that we're just going to get stuck in with this update, starting off here at the cargo stands with this FedEx Boeing 767-300 who's just arrived in from Columbus, Ohio and is going to be heading out to Memphis, Tennessee. Next up we have this UPS Boeing 767-300. He's going to be heading out to Richmond, Virginia, the short hop down to Virginia. Then next up here, moving over to the Spirit gates, here we have a Spirit Airbus A320neo. He's arrived in from Las Vegas, Nevada, and is going to be heading out to Tampa in Florida. We then have this Spirit Airbus A321. He's arrived in from Orlando in Florida and is going to be heading out to Los Angeles, California. Moving around to Delta, here we have a pretty interesting aircraft. We have a Delta Boeing 757-200. He's going to be heading out to Atlanta in Georgia. Delta have been using the 757 lately on the Atlanta to Baltimore route, which is pretty exciting. Makes a change from seeing the 737s over and over again. We finally have something different and it's a pretty cool aircraft. We have this Delta 757-200, which of course is going to be heading out to Atlanta. After that, here we have this Delta Connection CRJ-700. He's going to be heading out to New York JFK. And then finally here for Delta, here we have this Delta Airbus A319. He's going to be heading out to Minneapolis. Next up here we have this Sun Country Boeing 737-800 in the older color scheme. These usually operate seasonally to Minneapolis. However, Sun Country also operate quite a few military charters, and that's what this is. This aircraft flew in from Gulfport today in Mississippi, and that of course was a military charter. As I say, they operate quite a few of them, but then of course they operate commercially to Minneapolis come the summertime. And then finally here for this terminal, here we have a JetBlue Airbus A320. He's going to be heading out to Boston. Again, JetBlue only really send the Embraer 190s down from Boston to Baltimore, but of course I don't have an Embraer 190, so for now we're just using this A320 heading out to Boston. Then next up here, just taxiing out, here we have this Spirit Airbus A321. He arrived in a while ago from Austin, Texas, and is going to be heading out to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Next up, moving over to the Southwestern International Terminal, here we have the British Airways 787-8. He's of course going to be heading out to London Heathrow. Following along from that, here we have the Play Airbus A321neo. He's going to be heading out to Reykjavik, Keflavik today. We then have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the heart color scheme. He arrived in from Orlando, Florida, and is going to be heading out to Los Angeles, California. Next up, we have this Southwest Boeing 737 MAX 8. He arrived in from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and is going to be heading out to Phoenix, Arizona today. Then next up here, we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Canyon Blue color scheme. He arrived in from Myrtle Beach in South Carolina today and is going to be heading out to Nashville, Tennessee. Then next up here, we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700 in the Missouri 1 color scheme. He arrived in from Liberia in Costa Rica and is going to be heading out to Fort Myers in Florida. And then finally here for today's update, here we have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-800 in the heart color scheme. He arrived in from Tampa, Florida, and is going to be heading out to Grand Rapids in Michigan. And with that does conclude today's update of Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. And now getting on to that very exciting news, we have a brand new international airline starting here at Baltimore in June. And the airline is Copa. Copa are going to be starting service to Panama City on June 28th of this year, which is pretty exciting. It's just another international airline we get to add to the, well, I would say long list, but compared to Dallas, Baltimore doesn't really have a long list of international airlines. But we have quite a few now, which is really exciting. Of course, we have British Airways and Play, which are the only all year round international airlines offering service to London Heathrow and Keflavik. And then we have quite a few summer seasonal airlines now. Iceland Air have now become summer seasonal here at Baltimore, so they will only fly to Keflavik during the summertime. Then of course we have Condor offering summer seasonal service to Frankfurt in Germany. Hopefully we will get the A330-900 soon. Of course Condor are switching their entire wide body fleet over from the 767-300s to the A330-900s. So eventually their entire wide body fleet will be just A330-900s. But for now, to to help them transition from the 767s over to the A330-900s. They've leased in quite a few A330-200s, but again, those are just to help with the transition, just to get their pilots trained up on the A330, and then of course they're going to go completely to the A330-900s. So as soon as Gemini Jets or whoever releases some Condors A330-900s in the various color schemes that they have, I will buy as many color schemes as I can. We'll have the different color schemes between each update, which I think will be pretty cool. And the same being said with Icelandair as well, with their new livery. Hopefully when we start getting the different color schemes in from the new Icelandair livery, we'll get some different liveries in each update from both Icelandair and Condor. Unfortunately, however, we can't have a ton of good information without some bad information, because I think it's safe to say that Air Senegal have stopped serving Baltimore. I don't have all the information at the moment as to why they've stopped, but they haven't flown this route in a while, and their airline information has been removed from a lot of the Baltimore sites. So unfortunately, I believe at this point the Air Senegal have stopped serving Baltimore. If we do still get an Air Senegal A330-900 model, I will still get it and I will still include it into a Baltimore update just to show that part of Baltimore's heritage now. Hopefully there is still redemption. Maybe they might relaunch the Baltimore routes, but we'll have to see. But yeah, apart from that, that does conclude today's update of Baltimore Thurgood International Airport. I hope you did enjoy, and with that, I want to thank you again for watching today's update, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.